Watching the detectives. Watching the detectives. Watching the detectives.
A classic from Elvis Costello. You're on 90.5 tonight from the first album. My name is True. Watching the Detectives. And something new from the British band One Eskimo. A song called Candy from their self-titled debut album. A band that I'm sure a lot of you saw. Maybe you didn't realize it. But they were out on tour opening up for Tori Amos on her current tour. And in fact, my next guest was at one of those shows.
That's right, I was.
Good evening, James Maddock.
Hi.
It's good to see you again. I'm going to guess that you probably don't even remember the first time we met.
How can I forget?
It was at the Mercury Lounge in New York City after a Wood show.
No way.
It was indeed.
Great.
I believe you were. I think. Well, besides me actually liking the Wood album and playing it at the time on the radio, I think one of the reasons I was there was you had. Was it Melvin? One of the Duffy brothers from Brother Nature.
That rings a bell.
I think playing in the Banders, or maybe they were opening or something like that. And I had known them at the time.
You know, I think who else was on that bill? David Gray.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know. Someone told me later, David Gray was opening for you.
Wow. I don't remember that either. Wow.
Some guy I know really well said, yeah, he opened for you, right then. And so
I have a sneaking suspicion he may have gone on when I was at dinner.
I'm not even sure he did, but my friend said he did, so it might not be true.
Well, I guess we can figure that out at some point. James Maddock, I hope you don't mind that I've been referring to you as James Maddock, formerly of Wood, because I think there are a few people out there who remember Wood and the something about Stamford Hill.
Yeah, songs from
Stamford Hill.
Sure.
And in fact, that's I think one of the reasons why you're playing the Langosta Lounge in Asbury Park tonight is because our old friend Petey is a big fan of Wood and probably coerced you to come down and play his restaurant.
Yeah, I can't remember how it came about. I tell you, the producer, Steve Greenwell, who lives around here. And
he's a friend and listener, yep.
Yeah, he knows Pete, and then it all kind of came together through him, by a twist of fate. And I brought the band down, and it's a lovely room, and please come along, anybody who's in the area tonight.
Absolutely, Langosta Lounge on Ocean Avenue and the Ocean in Asbury Park. James Maddock is here, and actually Steve Greenwell is actually how I ended up with the record, because I had known through his Facebook status updates of all things that he was working on your record, because he would put things like finished mixing James Maddock's vocals or whatever whatever he put, and I'm like, oh wow, cool, Steve's working with Maddock. Right. Okay, good.
That's so good. I would have thought.
And then one day he messaged me and goes, hey, did you ever get that? I'm like, no, tell somebody to send it.
Oh, lovely.
So we got it, and we've literally just started playing a song called Prettier Girls, which I guess I'll play a little bit later on your visit.
Thank you.
But you're actually going to play us a couple live for us. This a little bit what it might be like at the Langosta Lounge tonight in Asbury.
I'm in a band tonight, so they're, but this is just me. There's a song called Straight Lines, which was on the Wood album. It was on this album, strangely enough. That's how it goes. Well, I tried so hard, but it was not enough. I guessed wrong, I messed up, but I think I still believe that when you walk in a straight line, you don't have to worry. When you walk in a straight line, things get out your way. When you walk in a straight line, you don't have to worry. When you walk in a straight line, you can face the day. Down by the river stands a man with trouble on his mind, running out of plans. I think I still believe that when you walk in a straight line, you don't have to worry. When you walk in a straight line, things get out your way. When you walk in a straight line, you don't have to worry. When you walk in a straight line, you can face the day.
That's nice.
Targets by color? Odds are, if you're African American, you're twice as likely to suffer a stroke as white Americans. Know where you stand, because beating the odds isn't about winning, it's about living. Join the power to end stroke at strokeassociation.org.
Want to save on your energy bill? Get the Energy Hogs out of your home. Find out how at energyhog.org and have fun while you're at it. Go to energyhog.org and get the Energy Hogs out of your home.
Hey, wait for me!
A song that has survived from the Wood days, from James Maddock. Wood, of course, being his old band. Now, do you play a bunch of songs that were from the Wood days still?
I don't really, to be honest with you. I play like Never Ending off the Wood album. I sometimes do Knock It on the Head. I don't really do Stay You very much. And I do that Straight Line song. I know Pete said I had to do Let Me Fall tonight, but we don't really do it. So I'm like, I don't know what to say to him, because people love that song. And I think I've got to try and think about that and think about doing some more songs from the Wood album as we progress. But it's been a while since I've done those songs and I wrote those songs.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, it's funny that, or it's kind of ironic that I had Marcy Playground here a little while ago, and now you. I don't know if you were listening to us earlier. One of the things that we chatted about was the fact that they lived the major label hit single machine life, and 12 years later have kind of said, you know what, we don't really need to do that anymore. And you kind of lived the same life. The Wood album was, for whatever year that was, 96, 7?
It came out really at the end of 1999.
99. Okay, so it was a little bit later than I thought, but it was. I mean, I remember I was in the thick of it. That was supposed to be one of the biggest records of the year, and for some of us it was. And then it was.
The thing was, we didn't have a hit, and it's all when you're on a major label, it's always about the hits.
Yeah.
And they are designed to sell 1 million records, right? And if you don't sell 1 million records, they're on to the next guy who will.
Yeah.
So that's just how it is. And we never really... I don't think we sold 1 million. I don't think we're anywhere near 1 million. More like 100.
You probably still owe Columbia a lot of money.
I do. I own the fortune. I dare ask. Thankfully, I don't have to pay it back personally, which people often don't understand about the record business. I mean, they do lend you the money to make the records. But the amount of monies that Columbia, it cost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you had to personally incur that wealth, if you didn't make it back, nobody would sign a record.
Yeah, absolutely.
How could you do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I actually, and coincidentally, it's also Columbia. I used to work with a manager who managed a band from England, and I think they still owe Columbia for the cost of 2 remixes, let alone the 3 albums they made.
But once you drop, they drop the debt, don't they? I mean, you can't keep owing them for in perpetuity.
Which we were talking about earlier, in perpetuity.
In perpetuity.
I don't know.
You can't. They once they drop you, they drop the debt. But having said that, if you still, sorry, this is probably boring to people out there. But if you start to sell records again, then they're going to get their money back from you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and I think that's kind of one reason why they kind of keep all these things on a shelf, gathering dust. Someday that guy's going to be big, and then we'll have this record from 12 years ago.
Yeah. That's it.
Kind of thing. Which I mean, maybe it's a little bit of industry minutia that we're talking about. But we honestly, we have a lot of musicians and songwriters who listen to us, being a very artist-friendly radio station, and it's something that a lot of them need to know. That it's not the record industry of the mid '90s or the late '90s when Wood was around or when Marcy Playground first had a hit. To say nothing of the record industry of the 70s and 60s and 50s.
That was the time to get signed in the 70s, man. That was it. Springsteen, Neil Young, all those guys, and making they just made. But I read a book about Columbia Records, I think, which said that in the 70s, only 5% of the records that it made a profit.
I don't doubt it, actually. I mean, it sounds ridiculous to say, but I don't doubt it. And it's funny that a few years ago, Bruce was actually here at 90.5 The Night, and nice. I think off the air, he and I were chatting, and he kind of admitted to the fact that if he had tried to get signed now, he probably wouldn't have been signed. He would never have been allowed to make Greetings from Asbury Park and The Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle, and been dropped before getting the chance to do Born to Run.
Thank God he wasn't. I mean, I saw him last night. Actually, I went to the gig.
Cool, good.
Yeah. It was freezing.
I hear my friend Willie Nile jumped on stage.
Did he? You know what? I've got a confession. If he did, I left before the end.
No.
I was so cold. I was right at the back, and I wasn't prepared for the weather.
You didn't know anyone who can get you better seats?
I kind of do, but I didn't want to ask. Maybe I could have made an email to someone, but I don't like to do that. So I froze at the back.
I know. I often suffer the same fate of, is this really jeopardizing my friendship? I don't
really have a friendship, but I had a connection. But I mean, he was fantastic, and he's wonderful, and we all love him. So,
Cool. James Maddock is here in the studio with me, and I believe during that bit of conversation, he tuned himself up for another song, or did he?
I hope so. I didn't do it too loud because I didn't want it to annoy the listeners. Let's see how we get on. It's just called When the Stars Align. The band gets going, the whole thing's flowing when the stars align. When the stars align, the distance closes, the thought composes. When the stars align, when the stars align, when the stars align, when the stars align. You see the world in a new light. You're proving yourself right when the stars align. Killing the old curse with the power of the universe. When the stars align, when the stars align, when the stars align, when the stars align. Yesterday you couldn't do it, but today you walk right on through it. The girl comes over and asks for your number when the stars align, when the stars align, and everything you say is funny. Then she says she comes from money when the stars align, 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 when the stars align.
Nice.
its face. My mind got lost in the silver arcade, with its mirrors and lights and machines that get paid. Hollow love, hollow love, midnight at the empty stadium. Hollow love, hollow love, full speed ahead with the headlights on. I'm stuck on the words that I don't underline. I did not expect to lose every time, but I didn't expect to win either, that's true. Now that I sit up and drink about you, hollow love, hollow love, midnight at the empty stadium. Hollow love, hollow love, full speed ahead with the headlights on. You borrowed my life and you never came back. I wish I cared more about that stubborn fact, but I could never entirely explain how I feel. I'm a specialist here in my chosen